Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversations. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
5 years ago, the Power of We Symposium was created to provide a platform for kids from all sectors where they could have a safe and comfortable environment in which to share both their joys and concerns. The Power of We Symposium is proud to have served over 250 kids throughout Romania when we took our mission global back in May of 2023. Now, 2 teams of amazing volunteers from both the U.S. and Romania embarked on an 8-day Legacy of Hope tour, bringing encouragement and hope to not only the kids of Romania, but also the adults who support them, and also to over 100 kids here in the U.S. who contributed handwritten letters of hope to our Romania mission of 2023. Now, this year, we are proud to provide this opportunity yet again in October, and we are super excited to up our game. New venue, 750 kids this time, and we want to see you there. We're looking forward to meeting you in person at this year's event, which promises, as always, incredible speakers, amazing content, and of course, some of the greatest kids on the planet. So, mark your calendars for October 24th, and we'll see you here in Chicagoland for the Power of We Symposium 2024. This year's theme is Always Together, Never Alone. Tickets are available now on Eventbrite or at powerofwesymposium.com. Shamelessly displaying my state of mind, but you walk right past me, pretending like you don't see what's yours for the taking tonight. Okay. So I'm a minute late. Like 2 minutes late. You ever have those days? I knew it. I think it's because I went to the bathroom too many times during the night. I'm not kidding. When it was time for my alarm to go, I'm like, I'd turn it off early so I can get an extra 15 minutes. And I've been behind ever since. Why do we do these things to ourselves, right? Well, because I'm 62 and I'm getting older. I ain't getting old. That ain't never going to happen because I am promising you, I am one day going to be known as the black male Betty White. So there it is. Welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. It's Monday. There's my body double back there. That's actually us. And I have a great guest, great way to kick off the week. Not just the day, the week. Okay? How was your weekend? Put it in the comment section. What did I do? Not too much. It was, we had bowling night, which is usually our date night, but I have a bunch of family here. I did from LA this weekend, so we had a great time and went out to eat and had hors d'oeuvres and stuff. You know how you go out after, and it was fun. We had a lot of fun, but I was up till like midnight. That's probably why I'm still behind. That's the bell of purpose. I ring it on purpose because when there is some truth in the air, well, there's a ring in the air, just like that bell's. So I ring it to remind us, seek the truth. Place your moral compass on due north and watch all your dreams come true as long as you're using at least half of what you receive to ease suffering somewhere in the world. Can I get an amen? I will start it off. There we go. There you go. And I just want to say you guys are looking great for a Monday morning. You're beautiful people. Glad you're here. So anyway, going to be a great week. I just want to say coming up, going to be some road trips coming up in the next few weeks. I have some speaking gigs out there again next month as well. Kind of reminiscent of May. Remember May, April and May, gone. But I'm going to take you guys with me. So keep your ear to the ground. A lot of great things coming up, and I want you there with me. So today's guest, her name is Sheryl with an S, and I have a sister whose name is that, not the C Sheryl, the S Sheryl. They're kind of special in a good way. So Sheryl Green is here, and she's going to talk to us today about the courage to say no. She's known as, I have it in my notes, the how to say no expert. That's how I have dubbed her. I don't know if she told me that or if I made it up, but she really is. And I think that there's another piece to that, and I want to talk to our expert today. I know people who don't know how to say no, but I also know people who don't know when to say yes. Ooh, juicy one today. Listen, she has not been here before, but she's here now, and I'd rather show you than tell you, so I'm not going to read a bio. I'm going to let her talk to you straight face to face. I hear her clickety-clack. Oh, she's wearing some heels today up in here. Sheryl Green ain't playing with it. She is here to pour into us. Here she comes. Put your hearts on the screen because it's our way of saying welcome virtually. Here we go. The Sheryl Green.
Good morning. I am so jealous of your bathrobe. Can I just tell you that?
Oh, you are?
It's amazing. I'm a huge dog person, and I'm loving your bathrobe right now. I wish I had one.
Oh, this is from my dog nephew, Pumpkin. And he gave me this, and he is this terrier. This is actually a self-portrait. And yeah, because he knows about the show and all. So yeah, my husband and I are gunkles.
Gunkles. I love that.
We have shirts that prove it. So I'm so excited you're here. So hot topic, great topic, and a barrier remover for a lot of people. And it might answer why do I keep ending up with these asshat boyfriends or girlfriends? A lot of it could have to do with our topic today, but not just matters of the heart. All kinds of things are connected to the ability of this thing you say, being able to, and you have the book. You had me at no, right? So look, before I get too far out there and do all the spoiler things, I'm going to dip out, Sheryl, for about 60 seconds and let you just pour into everybody, create your own vibe, and then I'll pop back in. We'll get started.
All right.
All right, take it away. All you.
All right. Good morning, everybody. My name is Sheryl Green. I am here in Las Vegas, so it is very early. Normally, my dog would be on screen with me, but he's still sleeping. So I have been out in Vegas for about 16 years now. I originally wanted to be a forensic psychologist. I wanted to be an FBI profiler. So that's what my background is in. But instead, I am an author, I am a speaker, and as Dr. Loren said, I am the how to say no expert. And I do that because I have 40 plus years of not saying no. I was a people pleaser to the core, was unable to tell people no. And I got into a lot of sticky situations like that. As he said, yes, all the bad boyfriends, why am I attracting them? I call mine the island of misfit boys. So I got it right this time. Yes. I figured out how to say no. I figured out the right people to attract into my life. And I got married last year to an amazing man. We got married in March, and we've got 2 wonderful rescue dogs and 170 houseplants. So,
did you say 170 houseplants? Yeah. Oh my God, I have houseplants, not that many. I'd rather have a few huge ones than a whole, because that watering.
Yeah, it takes like 2 hours.
I know. I don't know how you do it. My outdoors is like that, but that's just for a season or two, But indoor, And I put a lot of my plants out on the deck during the summer, and they just go crazy.
They would burst into flames here in Vegas. So
I used to live there.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah. What part of Vegas do you live? What side of town? I used to live there.
We are the southwest now. We just moved in November.
Okay. I was over by Sam's Town, by UNLV, on Miller, and Boulder Highway.
Yes.
Yeah. Man, that place was growing in leaps and bounds back then. Probably still is. Yeah. I was an event planner in Vegas for years. Yeah. And you're right. That heat. Woo! But I moved there from Phoenix, so you thought I would have known about it, right? So let's get to it. First of all, you said FBI. How interesting, because Pumpkin's mom is an FBI agent.
Nice.
Yeah, so I said, well, that's interesting. So, and I'm loving the hair, by the way. You have great hair. I just want to say that. I mean, clearly. So let's go to this. I didn't realize that how to say no was such a big deal. And I went to find something to kind of get us started. So I found, we're not going to listen to the whole thing, but I wanted to share just a little bit of it. It's a little motivational thing, because you're going to talk to the how-tos. You're going to give us some real nuggets on how to. But I thought we'd start with some reasons why you want to do what Sheryl is going to impart on us today. So let's take just a minute or two, you guys, and listen to this. It's a little YouTube video. It's a motivational one from Team Fearless, and I'm good friends. I know them. They're great people. And this is the courage to say no.
The courage to say no. The discipline to say no. The wisdom to say no.
Where'd it go?
Take a good look at any successful person, any truly fulfilled person. They all have this quality. The courage to say no.
I did not know this.
They must say no.
The strength to say no when I need to. The courage and discipline to stick to the path that leads to my greatest self.
Even when it's uncomfortable. Even when it means they're outcasted. Even when it means walking alone. Even when it means losing people.
We're going to stop right there. Those were enough. Right there. When you tie the ability to say no to the outcomes that we just saw on the screen, and we didn't even get a third of the way in, kind of changes the perspective. Yes. So how did you get to this intersection when you figured out that that's what it was? Because, I said that little thing, and I want you to tell us. Let's start there. Do you think it's the same thing, or are they two separate things? Because I use this one all the time. People who don't know how to say no, but there are also people who don't know when to say yes. And I've realized that it frees a lot of people up when they learn how to say no. all of a sudden they have all this opportunity to say yes.
Yes.
See, so it's kind of like you do yourself a double. It's like a swirl cone. Got two different flavors going on. So tell us how you got there, Sheryl.
Yeah, so my journey, unfortunately, was rather painful, as I believe most journeys are.
Amen.
I was working in an animal rescue full time, which for anybody that's been in the nonprofit world, full time is not 40 hours a week; it's 60 plus hours a week.
Thank you. Yes. Yes,
I
Lord.
was running my own business. I had a content writing business, so I had clients for that. I had parents that were getting older and sicker and needed more of me. And I was still people pleasing. I was still serving on all the boards and volunteering and helping everyone. And I hit this point in my life. There was like a 1 month period where I could not stop crying. Like just the moment I opened my mouth, the tears started to fall. And my rock bottom, fortunately, was driving down the road and seeing oncoming headlights and thinking to myself, if I just cross over this median, this could all be over. And
it was that bad?
It was that bad. It was that bad. I couldn't function anymore. I was starting to get resentful of the people that I cared about. And that, I think, was the worst part for me, is that I love my parents. I loved the animals I was serving. I loved all of these things. And I wanted to be there for them. And I realized in that moment, I couldn't be. That if I crossed that median, I wouldn't be there to take care of anyone or to help anyone. And it scared the crap out of me. I pulled over to the side of the road and I gathered myself together. And it kicked off this mental health journey and this journey of, okay, what is missing from my life? And I realized it was boundaries. It took a couple of months to kind of solidify everything, but I realized like I literally did not know how to say no. I didn't know when to say no, and that's a huge part of this. And because of that, I was putting all of this undue stress on myself. I wasn't of service to anyone at that point because you can't. You just can't be there for everyone and be everything to everyone. And I realized one day, I can't be the only one that has this problem. And I learned through writing, I learned through reading. That's how I process things. So I was like, you know what? This is my next book. And I outlined the book on an airplane, got home, started doing all the research, reached out to all the therapists I knew, the coaches, the people who had really amazing boundaries, and said, I love that.
Get it in, girl. Get it in. No, for real. Hold it up. Hold it up. Let's go there. Yeah, you had me. No, I love the title.
Thank you.
I really do. And it has, and the "you had me" part is poignant.
Yes. Yeah, because honestly, to your point earlier, no is not only a gift that we give ourselves, it's a gift that we give other people as well. We empower them. We teach them when they can count on us. We give them that piece of, I've got you right now because I said yes, and my yes means something. Whereas if we're just yesing all over the place, I call it yes vomit. We ruin our brand and we damage relationships.
So there's so many different, it's like a kaleidoscope of possibilities when you look at the possible ramifications individually. It's like just everywhere. So let's talk about some of the things that might be synonymous, if you will. For instance, always, okay, here's some things that kind of sound like that kind of person you just described yourself as having been. The person who always has to have a project, the rescue the kitten in the tree, the superhero who has to rush in, the one who people come to and tell all their problems, and so they feel wanted. It all boils down to a need for a certain kind of acceptance, I think, too. And also, but also what we don't realize, those of us who do that, and I've been guilty of it myself, and we're empaths in most cases, but and that's where it gets detrimental because we're holding space for all these things. And then we look and there's no pie in all the pieces of the pie have been given out and we're ready for a slice. And so I've learned to put a piece up when the pie is fresh. I don't care if they come in and see a piece missing. So I noticed that didn't stop anybody from getting theirs.
Yep.
I don't want none of that. There's a piece missing. Nobody does that. So I started taking a piece out of the pie, putting it in the Tupperware and putting it up because I wasn't that's how I learned to be better to myself. So take off and walk us through it, Sheryl. First of all, what do you think is going through somebody's head right now that's going, well, I mean, I don't think I'm that bad, but what are some warning signs?
Yeah, so that resentment, I think, is going to be a huge warning sign for people. When you start looking at every request or demand on your time, and you're resentful for it, like, man, why are they asking for this? Why do they want everything from me? They're bleeding me dry. Like that kind of
goodness.
Look, it feels good. I will be the first person to say what you said earlier. Yeah, there's a self-esteem issue there. There's I have to be everything. Look, I was raised to believe that my value came from what I did for others. So when you have that mentality, and I did, yes, the healthiest thing I could do, and I went and I worked for a nonprofit. You know, where else can you truly be that giver, that I'm going to say martyr? And it took a long time to realize that there is a big difference between giving of yourself and giving up yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. See, a lot of people, especially those of us who came from that organized religious background, and we just are natural. Most of us are natural creatures of service. It's just a part of the journey. However, as far as it took me a long time to realize the phrase was actually my cup runneth over and not my cup runneth out.
Yeah, or my cup broke and it's spilling everywhere.
You see what I'm saying? It took me a long time to learn to allow the world to have free access to my overflow.
Yes.
But what's inside my cup?
Yes.
That's for me.
Yeah, it's a mindset shift of I can still be of service, and I'm never saying like you should be a selfish bastard moving forward. We're here to help one another. We're here to give. You just have to make sure that you do put yourself first and that you take care of yourself so that you can be there for others.
Legacy is a reservation for one. You must sit at the table and drink from your own cup, eat from your own plate, or you can't do it for other people.
Yeah.
But what is it? How do there's so many roads to it. There's the mom who gives up her career to be a stay-at-home mom and take care of the kids, and then 30 years later, everybody's gone. Or not, hopefully not 30, 20 years later, everybody's gone. I was thinking about my cousin whose kids still live in her basement. Sorry, girl, I didn't mean to bust you out like that. But anyway, you raised them. I'm just saying. So, but it's true. We give. And then there's nothing left. Now, let's talk about this. We train people how to treat us.
Yes.
So why are so many of us afraid to say no? What is it? Are we afraid they're gonna not be our friend? We're gonna be looked at poorly. We're losing our mojo.
Yes.
What?
Yeah. So I actually look at this from an anthropological standpoint. Anthropological, from an anthropology.
Oh, I thought that's what you said. Okay, public school. Sorry.
Early, I got it out though. But we still have that lizard brain. It's still sitting there, and we have this thought process. It's not conscious, that if I say no, if I don't do what they want me to do, they will not like me. If they do not like me, they will cast me out from the tribe. If I am cast out from the tribe, there's no one watching my back. And when there's no one watching my back, I'm now in danger of being eaten by a passing wildebeest. And it's
Damn.
this like, yeah, it's this super fast. And I actually use this to make myself laugh now and get out of that. When I talk to clients, they're like, how do I stop that? Just imagine you're not going to be eaten, you know, because it's this super quick subconscious, oh, I have to do what they ask. Oh man, I'm going to be dinner. And we don't realize it's happening. But when you think about it, like, I'm going to be cast out of the family. I'm going to lose the friend. I'm going to lose the job. All of these things are going to happen. And we're ultimately, that lizard brain is popping in and saying, you're going to get eaten.
Well, I'll tell you, one of the things, that's why I say that thing about when to say yes.
Yes.
Because it was easier for me, personally speaking, because I kept saying I was going to start saying no to people.
Yeah.
I kept saying it. I really meant it, but I just couldn't pull the trigger. When in that moment, on the spot, I felt I had to live up to what everyone expected, because the thing was, here's how I really started switching it. I just started opening my mouth. I was like, hold on. I'm not taking on anymore. What y'all don't understand is I just make this shit look easy. While y'all sleeping,
yeah,
I'm still up trying to figure right. And I started speaking it. But that was because I decided to say yes to Loren. You have a right to. People don't intend half the time for you to end up feeling that resentment, but nonetheless, it is what you're feeling. And if it is real to you, then it is real. Right? And if you don't stop it in one lane, it's going to tie-dye and bleed into everything around you. Talk about that piece. Where did it first show up in your journey? Was it with the boyfriends? And then where did it go? Because it has a way of moving through all of our neighborhoods.
Oh, yeah. No, I hate to throw parents under the bus, but look, we learn from them. And if our parents don't know how to set healthy boundaries, or whoever raised us, if our parents don't know how to set healthy boundaries, how are we expecting them to teach us? So, I mean, mine showed up very early on, taking care of my mom. You know, here's this little 5-year-old who's running around playing nurse and therapist and all of these things.
Who was doing that?
That was me.
At 5?
5-year-old me. Yeah, my parents got divorced when I was 3.5, 4. And it was me and mom against the world. So, I mean, I started very early in that caretaker role.
Were you the only sibling? The only child?
Just me.
Oh.
Just me. Yeah.
That's a lot.
So, you go and you repeat those relationships in your life. So I found the biggest hot mess of a husband I could possibly find.
Well, at least he was hot.
Just
you said hot. Oh, you meant hot mess. I thought you said hot and he was a mess.
Yes, correct. No, not separate things. But I started hanging out with this guy as friends, and then the ultimatum came. And the ultimatum was, if you don't date me, I can't be your friend.
Well, that's what I was just gonna say. It kind of, and I never thought about this until now. It kind of sounds like people who can't, women, men, whomever, because it goes both ways, who can't say no are really prime pickings for a narcissist.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Perfect. You're already groomed. You already know how to obey.
Yep. Yeah.
Like in that movie with Eddie Murphy, whatever kind of food you like. Remember her? She was jumping off one leg. He was like, bark like a dog. And she'd woof, woof. It was a satire, but still, it really does end up being like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Now,
the groomed is a great word for that.
Well, yeah, that's what narcissists do. But how old were you when you committed to that? Was that person older than you? I'm just curious.
25. He was maybe 28. I think
That's not bad. Oftentimes it's an older person. Okay, so so who was really wrong? Was it, I mean, you fed in because you were a willing participant.
Yes. And I'm a huge proponent of radical responsibility at this
I
point.
like that.
I wasn't back then. I didn't even know that was a thing. Everything was happening to me. People were doing this to me. But when I got out of the relationship and he did a really bad thing that means he can't live near schools. Yeah. So
wow.
it was a nice push from the universe. Like, go ahead and get out of this. But I remember going into therapy, and do you need a second to process that? Sorry, I just dropped it.
No, well, I guess I did need a moment. That was quite the okay. Didn't see that coming.
Everyone knows my story.
No, keep going.
But I went to therapy, and the therapist kept bringing it back to this crime that he had committed. And I kept saying to her, no. Like, I've processed that. I know there's more to go. But what I really want to work on is, why did I attract this man in the first place? Why did I let him stay once he was in my life? And how do I never do this again? And I ultimately ended up going to a different therapist because she was so locked in on that. And I was like, no. This was me. I was not kidnapped and chained in a basement. Like, I willingly went into this relationship, and I don't ever want to do it again.
But if we really are honest, because I know both sides of that coin, I know that I haven't been one, but I've been abused. And those of us who have, know that the abusers, just like a narcissist, and oftentimes they are both, are very cunning, very beguiling. They're like the David Copperfields of the shit, seriously. And so it's kind of, we got to throw that piece in there, because for that person that's sitting in that zone right now, just understand, you need to not be a people pleaser, and you need to learn how to not when to say no and whatnot, but don't get it twisted. Usually when there's someone that's feeding on that, it's because it's a thing they do.
Yes.
They've honed that. So, okay. So how did you dig yourself out?
A lot of therapy, a lot of self-help books, pretty much every self-help book, and writing. Writing became this therapeutic tool for me, where I realized that I could kind of work through issues. I started out with fiction. I started out with serial killer novels, and kind of worked through. But it was a lesson in learning how to tap back into that innate knowledge that we have, into that. We talk about listening to our gut, and some people, especially when you're in a relationship like that, you have been trained out of listening to your gut.
Exactly right. Instinct. Your first mind is connected to your creator, I believe, to what you believe is greater than you, and everything after that is aptly named second guessing.
Yes.
It's what comes second, and you're guessing.
Yeah.
It's like trying to, Helen Keller, let me feel your face and see if you're nice or mean. You can't.
Yeah.
So how do you help people? Because you have the book, but you also coach in this lane.
I do. Yeah. And do you actually mind if I close the blinds?
No, go ahead.
Okay. I'll be right. Give me 1 second.
Y'all, guess what? I'm cheating this week. Guess what I have here? Golden Grahams. Once a month, I do this with bananas, so it's not so bad.
Okay, sorry about that.
No worries.
So I'm not usually in my office this early, so I'm not used to the lighting.
The sun rising. Yes. Go ahead.
So but yeah, so look, part of that is realizing we all have a tell. And I learned a little while ago that, and here's a diet tip for everybody listening. When you are done eating, your body actually sighs. You
Like,
let out, like, when you should be done eating. Let me put it that way. You
oh yeah, we did that last night.
and we ignore it because we don't know that we're supposed to be paying attention to that, and we want to keep eating. It's delicious. So we ignore that, but we have a tell when it comes to everything else as well.
Wait a minute, you mean that's real?
That is real.
So when we go,
Yeah, stop.
that means your body say, okay, I'm good.
Stop eating.
I didn't know that.
Yes. And when you do that, like, I actually felt a lot better because then you don't walk away from the, pregnant with like baby tacos.
That's what my husband said this morning. I said, how'd you sleep? He goes, I was a little bloated. He said, you're right.
Watch for the sigh. The
Wow.
moment you do it, and you're going to go like, oh, I don't, some people like, I don't have one of those. And then you're eating and you're like, oh my God, I have one. There's
I'm going to pay attention to that. Okay. Yeah. Go on.
But we've got that sigh with other things as well. And, when you have a person that every time your phone rings or you get a text message and you see it's from them and you go, ugh, there's a boundary violation there. There's something happening that you're like, oh man, every time this person calls, they want something. Yeah. Or every time they call, like they ask me questions I don't want to. Trying to like
everybody here saw 2 or 3 faces when you said it, because it happened to me like 3 times. I said, So what do you do? Okay, wait a minute. Okay. So do I just put that over in a file somewhere, or is that a sign that I need to go in and deconstruct the situation to understand where that boundary violation exists and then address it with the person? Because it would seem to me that in the long run, it's only going to benefit the relationship.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So what's the difference when we ignore it as opposed to doing what you're going to tell us is the way to go? Once you go, oh, so-and-so, Sheila, Lord, no, I don't want to talk to her right now. What do we do with Sheila?
So the challenge is you do get to that point of, I don't want to talk to them anymore. I can't deal with this. And you either end up distancing yourself from the relationship.
That's the resentment you mentioned.
Yes, which they're going to notice, you're going to notice, or it comes to the point where you explode over something that seems very small.
The stick, what is it? The thing that broke the camel's back?
Yes, that damn straw.
That straw.
You get, you have this experience and they call and you answer the phone. They're like, hey, I'm having a party on Saturday, whatever. I'm making this up as I go. And you go, God damn it, I don't want to go to your party anymore. I don't care. And you flip out. And, other people are like, whoa. It's that like, what just happened kind of thing. But you've been building resentment. You've been
Yes. And I'm going to tell you something. I remember when I unleashed that once on a really great friend, and she still is a really great friend. It's been like 30 years now, but it was way back in the 90s. I remember DJ. Hey, DJ. And she said, I let it out. Like, finally, my proclaiming my power. Right. And she goes, why didn't you say that shit 30 times ago?
Yep.
If you'd have told, she said, your silence gave me the license.
Yes. Oh.
How was I supposed to know you didn't like it?
Oh,
you kept acting like you did.
I'm writing that down. Hold on. Silence gave me the license.
Yeah, she said that to me. Your silence gave me the license that it was okay.
Yikes. That's powerful.
You helped create this.
Yeah.
And I was like, da-da-da. I've never forgotten it. And she's still a friend today. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, we have that option of we can let it go. We can let it go. We can build up the resentment. We can build up the anger. We can either explode one day or we can just ghost them. And there goes that relationship. And we've learned nothing. Or
a lot of people do that.
So many people do. Look, I've done that. I'm not going to say I'm not guilty of it.
I have a coaching client that's missing in action right now. And I bet it's because she doesn't know how to say no. Like, do you want to continue with your coaching?
Yeah.
So-and-so, I almost said a name. It's where she would have to say no.
Yeah.
How do you let a person off the hook when you can see that they don't know how to say? How do we help them by letting them off the hook and saying no for them? Ooh.
That's such a good question. And I call those boundary buddies. They're the ones that actually help you out in these situations. And when you know your friend is experiencing their tell and they don't know it, saying something like, hey, you know what? I'm really getting the feeling that this isn't for you, and that's okay. And sharing the fact that, you know what, they can say no to you without the fear of being cast out of the tribe and being eaten.
There it is. Yeah. Nice.
It's not going to ruin our relationship, and it's completely okay. And I'd rather you tell me now and I can go find someone else for whatever it is than tell me later when you can't do it.
You see, I would not have thought that this could benefit my brand. But now, I mean, I have, like, seriously, because when you know how it is, sometimes it gets to the heavy part of the work, and you have a coaching client or they feel like they don't want to let you down, or they're embarrassed or whatever. And I've never thought about how to find a way to let them off the hook, because I love them as a friend.
Right.
Even if we weren't coaching, I don't want you gone. So I'm going to start a short list this week and then reach out. Okay. What do you suggest? Should you reach out like in an email? Is it easier if you send it in that way, written? Then, because I can't get through when I'm calling and stuff, goes to voicemail and stuff, and I know they're dipping and dodging.
Yeah.
So put something together and write it. Have you ever done that?
It's I'm trying to think. I can tell you I did the wrong thing. And that's actually how I did this little switch from the when to say no, why to say no, to specifically the how to, because a friend asked me to be an incoming president for our National Speakers Association chapter. And my whole body's going, no, you can't do this right now. You don't have time. Like, this is a bad thing. But eventually I gave her the yes, because I didn't want to disappoint her. And it took a couple of weeks of speaking with mentors and doing some soul searching to come up with, oh no, I can't do this. Like, this is going to be bad. I'm not going to serve the way that that it deserves. It's going to destroy me right now, all the things. And I actually chickened out, and I had my mentor get on the phone call with us and tell her. And didn't find out until literally a couple of weeks ago. This is a year and a half in the past now. Didn't find out until a couple of weeks ago that she was actually really irritated with that. But she realized it was about me and not about her. She was, evolved enough to say, okay, Sheryl's doing what she can do right now.
She's doing her best.
And exactly. And she let it go. And now that's a huge learning experience for me, because you can say no. No can be the right answer, but you can do it in the wrong way. So that's where that like power comes from. Like, yes, you absolutely have the right to say no in any situation. Like, that is your right.
That's pretty powerful.
But let's do it in a way that doesn't damage the relationship, unless it's a relationship we don't care about. And that's a whole other story.
And even those, you want to stay within integrity. You want to stay within the 4 agreements. You don't want to leave someone, smelling like crap, a bad taste in their mouth. Because here's why. No matter how you leave something, when people mention your name, you don't want, if they say, oh, hell, oh, damn, then you're doing something wrong. But if they mention your name's mentioned and they go, oh, he's so nice, she's so sweet. Well, there you are, So it has a lot of, like we said at the very beginning, has a lot of ramifications. And you don't really think about it. I'm going to tell you, on all the stages I've stood, I've never heard someone deliver a keynote on this topic. I'm sure it's happened, but not so much that I've run into it 2 or 3 times. I'm just going to say, if you hear about suicide or depression or, I was beaten or, even my story, foster care and that, you hear a lot of that. But I think we need to talk about this more. And I think we need to look at it personally. Don't just dismiss it. Because I was going, oh, ain't this nice for all the people who don't know how to say no? I'm going to put this show on for them and bring this girl on. And then 20 minutes in, I'm like, oh my God, that's me. Seriously. And I think all of us are guilty of this to some extent, even if it's with just ourselves. Think about it.
Yeah.
An addict doesn't know how to tell that thing no.
Yeah.
Yet, because it's possible, or there'd be no recovery. See, it's really interesting when you lay it out there. So tell us about the book. What can people expect? You guys, on the screen is the link, and I'm dropping all of Sheryl's links inside your comment section, by the way, immediately at the end of the broadcast. So you can go in there and just click your little heart's desire, right? So all of them are going to be in there. So Cheryl, tell us about the book. What can people expect should they order it? And we hope they will.
Yeah, so the book is, it's fun. And I have to say that right off the bat, because I know a lot of people, this can be a heavy topic.
We love fun.
Personal development, self-help, whatever you want to call it, can be dense. I'm a very big believer that if your stuff isn't digestible, then it's useless. So you're going to have some fun. You're going to laugh. You're going to feel like you're having a conversation with me and just having a cup of coffee. But what you're going to learn is, starting out, that you actually have the right to say no, and that you have the responsibility to do it. And, we talk about that. I don't think I used the term yes vomit in the book. That came later on on a podcast. But it's all about stopping that yes vomit, stopping that automatic, yeah, sure, I can do whatever you want. Yeah, yes,
no problem.
Exactly. Just, clamp a hand on your mouth and give yourself a second to think. The fun fact is, this book was originally called, the working title was Intentional Decision Making. Ooh, super exciting. I know. But that's what it's about, is that stopping that automatic response and running through. And I give you a formula for how do you actually determine if you should be saying yes or you should be saying no. And then we talk about, how to say it and how to deal with people that don't accept it. And it's pretty much a comprehensive, all about boundaries, all about saying no. Because if you've ever gone to a doctor and they've said, oh, you should lose weight, and then the conversation ends and they don't tell you how to do it. That's what I was feeling here is, a therapist, a coach, they'll say, or anywhere, memes, they're like, oh, you have to set boundaries. Well, fantastic. But if I knew how to do that, I'd already be doing it.
And people set them, but they don't stick to it.
Yes.
Now it's even worse, because now the next time you try, no one's going to believe it, because, you remember last time she said she wasn't going to.
Yep. She's going to change her mind in 2 seconds. So we just have to wait.
It just seems like a horrible hamster wheel, except you're going backwards. You're on the hamster wheel, but you're going at that speed backwards. And we have to learn that.
Yeah.
Because the natural instinct is to pedal forward. But we have conditioned ourselves to do it in reverse, which is like trying to run through quicksand.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, how long have you been in say no recovery?
Yes. Yeah. I am a recovering people pleaser. I say that all the time. So I'm going on about 3 years now, 2.5, 3 years. And look, it is a journey. I still struggle in certain areas. There are some people in our lives that are still, that are more difficult to say no to.
Can you say, Sheryl, wholeheartedly, 100% authentically, that your emotional, your spiritual backpack feels a little lighter now, 3 years later?
Yeah, it is such a relief to be able to know that I can say no, and be able to actually make those decisions in the moment, or on a case by case basis. Because as I said earlier, this isn't about saying no to the world. This isn't about like, screw you, you take care of yourself, I'm looking out for me over here.
It just seems like if we're consistent, we're going to get to the point where we see, oh, it could have been like this all along. Done. So it doesn't seem like it would always have to feel like work. It just has to be until you get some momentum and you see consistently and congruently, you know what? This shit is the bomb. I'm going to stay here. And then you do better. You serve better. And now you're really committed to easing suffering in the world because you're not dropping any suffering on yourself.
I love it. I love it. Yep.
I think it's great. So what, now you do speak on stages about this, right? Where's the best place for people? I would assume it's the website, ticker taping currently along the bottom of the screen, SherylGreenSpeaks.com. Is that correct?
Yep, that you'll find everything there, direct links to the book, ways to hire me, ways that we can work together. And I do a boundary bite every single week. So it's just a quick blog about how to set better boundaries in your business and in your life. So you can sign up for that, and you get a free how to say no cheat sheet. So you've got those words ready to go.
A lot of value. I love that. So, what was I going to say? Oh, so who would you say your ideal client when you're speaking on stages? What's your ideal audience?
Yeah. So like everybody says, I've got a few. What women are always going to, I think, resonate the most with this. Okay. Nothing against you guys. But we're raised a little bit differently.
Yeah.
We're raised to be the pretty quiet, yes, accommodating caretaker. So women's groups are a great place. And look, I also want to talk to nonprofits.
I was going to say nonprofit because I was an event planner for 25 years, and I specialized in fundraising for nonprofits. And so I saw people, little old lady, Meals on Wheels, Southwest Michigan, 5 little old ladies in there busting their asses.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I mean, in so many directions, funding cuts, the need is overwhelming. This, that, and the other, and they just never had time to watch the borders where things were chipping away and falling. It was just heartbreaking. So I get it. And man, what a need this work you do. Anything you want to share coming up that people might be a part of? You got anything out there, places people might catch you, or anything on the calendar?
If you are in Las Vegas or coming here, I'm going to be speaking at, I think it is called Poised and Proper event, something like, or Modern Lady, something like that event. Okay. I will be posting that on my website soon.
That'll be on your website.
That is in October. And just check out my website. You'll see where I'm going to be. And I would love more stages. So anytime I can help people and speak to people, it warms my heart.
I think it's perfect. Thank you so much. What an interesting way to start the week. Really eye-opening, Sheryl. Seriously. Thank you so much. Great work. And you have the turnstile invite for this show. Means if you ever want to come back, just reach up and we'll pull you right back in. Okay. So thank you for all of that. Seriously. And you guys, thank you as well. I couldn't do this without you, nor would I want to? Why would I? Because together, when we come here, we are enacting one of the greatest promises available. A lot of power in there where 2 or more come together. So I thank you for letting my day start within that promise today. So listen, I promise you this. Tomorrow, I'll meet you, God willing, right over there on the front porch. And together, we will have yet another wonderful illuminated conversation. Tomorrow's guest is, are you ready for this? This is her legal name, Black Butterfly Goddess. I go out and get them, y'all, for real. Black Butterfly Goddess is in the house, and she's not playing with it. Wait till you see and experience her divine gifts. I was stuck. Seriously. Real deal coming up tomorrow. Now, listen, get out of here. Go find a little itty-bitty piece of your higher self. Push it over to what you are already. Take great to greater, bright to brighter, strong to stronger. But most importantly, you can take nice to nicer. Listen, get out of here. Remember that Dr. Loren loves you, and There ain't a damn thing you can do about it. I'll see you tomorrow. Have the best day ever. Bye, everybody. Thank you again, Sheryl. Great job. Great job. Bye, everyone.
Show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine.